This will help you get your debt snowball and your amortization schedule set up. If you go to my plan book right here on Wednesday, it tells you the debt snowball example and the amortization example. So if you click on those, it will just show you what you need it to look like to get set up. I want you to actually put in these exact numbers because I'm going to pretend that this is the amount of debt you have and that you are actually going to pay this off. Okay, so under your debt snowball sheet down here, okay, you should say debt snowball. I want you to have steps 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 set up. Okay, so you'll put these numbers in exactly. Okay, so you can just enter in information from here to here. Okay, get it formatted like this. Okay, so this should all be currency with 2 decimal places, and this interest rate should be a percentage with 2 decimal places. This should be the formula, the sum of all the debt here. This should be a formula, the sum of this here. This should be a formula, the sum of this here. Okay, I don't think this is right. Equals sum of these. No, it is right. Okay. So here we go. So once you have this all set up, you should pause this video until you get this all set up, and then you can come back to my video. Once you have gotten your debt snowball set up, I want you to go to the amortization sheet that you created, and I want it to look like this. Okay, so once you have this set up, why don't you pause this video, get it set up just like this, and then you can come back and watch the rest. Okay, so now that you have both set up, you are going to go back and forth between the debt snowball and the amortization. If you want to put it on 2 screens, you're more than welcome to do that. What you would need to do is put this down, open it up again, put this one over here, move this one over here, something like this, and then you're going to be able to see both screens. Okay, you need your debt snowball on one and your amortization on the other. So the first thing we need to do is figure out what the smallest loan is. So that would be our credit card. So where this says loan, we want this to say credit card. Okay, now we need to go through and put in our information. So our principal is $2,000. Our interest rate is 12%. Our monthly payment is $200. Okay, so now we have all of these things in. If these are not formatted correctly, make sure that you go in here, change this to currency, this to percent. Sometimes when you change this to percent, it will go to 1200. Make sure that you rewrite this in as just 12%. Okay, so we're going to start on June 1st. Okay, so we'll have our date in. Remember, get out your notes so that you can remember what types of formulas go in here. This is just like the amortization schedule we did in class together. Okay, payments $200, interest rates 12. Now our interest amount, we need to do the equal sign and do our previous balance times our interest divided by 12. Okay, our principal times our interest divided by 12. For our principal, we need to do our payment minus our interest. And for our balance, we need to do our previous balance minus our principal. Okay, so you should have these done. Okay, you need to do 2 lines of each debt before you can move on and let it autofill for you. So this will be 7114, $200 payment, 12%. Our interest is our previous balance. Now make sure you don't go back up to here because that's not your previous balance anymore. Previous balance times your interest rate divided by 12. Your principal is your payment minus your interest. And your balance is your previous balance minus your principal. Again, go to this previous balance, not your starting principal. Okay. Now, once you have 2 lines done, you can just go ahead and pull these down and it will autofill for you. One thing you need to know on this, when you autofill a date, you need to highlight two lines. If you just pull down the 7114, it will just say 7114, 7114, 7114. When you highlight two of them, it shows that it wants you to go from June to July to August. Okay? Then I'll move my mouse right here over this bottom blue square and it will turn into a cross. Once it's turned into a cross, I can click and hold and drag, and I will just, oops, I must have these merged. It will pull those down for me. On the rest of them, I don't want to highlight two. I just want to pull this bottom box down. Now, as you're doing this, you'll be going along just fine, and you'll get to maybe here, and you'll go, oh my gosh, this isn't working, and these are all zeros. Well, what's happening is it's pulling from the line above to get that previous balance. So you have to pull each column down in order to see your correct numbers. Okay, so you've pulled this all down, and I just chose a random place to pull down to. You notice here that now this is a negative number. Well, we're not going to, that means we've paid it off, and now we're not going to continue paying a company if we've already paid their balance off. So everything that's negative, I'm going to delete. Okay? So I have in here now that March 1st, my balance was $116.80. Instead of doing one more month and paying off that small payment, because it's less than the minimum payment we're making, we're just going to say that we could figure out how to come up with another $116.80, and we've paid that off. Okay? So we have our first loan paid off. So what you should do next is highlight all the way from your amortization, oops, to row 6 and copy, and then skip a line and paste. Okay? So we're ready to pay off our next debt. So our next smallest debt is student loan 1. So where this says credit card, I'm going to write in student loan 1, and then I need to go in and put in the information that it's telling me. So I had, oops, a $5,000, not $500. $5,000 principal, 3% interest rate, and $200 monthly payment. Okay, so now some of you may be thinking, well, this one will start on April 1st. But think about that. If we don't start paying this bill till April 1st, if I don't pay June, July, August, September, I'm going to default on that loan. So no, I'm not going to start using this extra money until April 1st, but I am going to start paying this on June 1st. Okay, my payment's $200, my interest rate's 3. My interest amount is my previous balance times my interest rate divided by 12. Oops. My principal is my payment minus my interest. My balance is my previous balance minus my principal. Again, we have to do one more line, 7114. My payment, interest, my previous balance times my interest rate divided by 12. My principal equals my payment minus my interest. And my principal, or my balance, equals my previous balance. My previous balance, oh, this isn't working. There we go. Minus my principal. Okay, now that I have two lines done, I can start pulling these down. So remember, for the date, I'm going to highlight 2, turn this into a cross, and I'll just pull down however far I think it might be. Okay, go down here, pull these down. Again, there's my zeros, but we just need to pull down everything else before we get. There we go. Okay. Now, right here it turned negative, so I could delete those. Okay. Now, the other thing that we need to think about is this bill ended 3/1. So on 4/1/15, I have an extra $200 I can put towards this bill. So on 4/1/15, I have 200 here, 200 from here. I should be able to put 400 towards my bill. So now my negative goes a lot faster or further up because I was able to pay it off quicker. Now I'm going to help you through one more, and I think you might be thinking in your head, I understand this, so I'm just going to pause this video and go. I have a feeling there's one thing that you might get confused on, so I think you should watch this one more time. Okay, so again, I'm going to copy all this, skip a line, paste. My next smallest loan is student loan 2, which is $8,000 at 3.5% and at $200 also. So on 6/1, okay, 200, 3.5. Okay, why don't you get these first two lines set up and then I'll help you. So now I have gone and put in my first two lines and I have dragged down until I've gotten to some negative numbers down here. Okay, so the part that might be confusing to you is when do you start adding more on to this payment? Okay, so do you start adding on April 1st an extra $200 because that one's paid off? No, you don't, because you've already put that money towards your student loan. So that $200 that you've had is already going towards student loan 1. So you're just making the minimum payment on this until this loan is paid off. And then you'll have this whole extra $400. So 10/1/15, we're done paying $400 a month. So 11/1/15, we can add $400. So this will be $600. You can pull this down. And now, yep, my negative went way up. I can delete all the negatives. And I should be good to go on this student loan 2. So now I want you to go in and finish the rest of your debts. Okay, get all of your amortization schedules done. One thing I like to do when I'm done is go ahead and just put a box around each amortization, so it just seems a little bit more nice looking to me, and it's easier for me to kind of look at. So once you're done getting all 5 loans done, put a box around each box and then come back to this video and I'll show you how to work your debt snowball. So here is my amortization schedule completely finished. Okay, I am going to kind of scroll through this slowly so that if you want to pause it anywhere and check where your numbers went wrong, you can do that. Okay. That's why I'm just scrolling through this slowly for 1 second. Okay, so that is my amortization schedule completely finished. So now I need to go back to my debt snowball and figure out all my different steps. So each step is after I've paid off a certain loan. So step 1 would be on June 1st, because this is when I first started doing my debt snowball. Step 2 would be on April 1st, the next month after I paid off my smallest debt. My next one would be on November 1st. My next step would be on July 1st. My next step would be on August. And my last step would be, August as well, of 18. Okay, so now that I have my dates, it will make it easier for me. So I need to look on April 1st, 2014 and all my different debts. Okay, April 1st, 2015. Oh, this one's paid off, so I'm just going to put zeros in. Okay, and actually I'm going to highlight that row and strike through. Okay, so I know that on this step my credit card's paid off. Okay, where is my student loan as of April 1st? April 1st, this box right here, my payoff is $27.11.52, and the payment my minimum payment's $200, but the payment I'm making is $400. Okay, and these aren't showing up as money, so all I need to do is highlight and go to currency. Okay. Okay, where is student loan 2 as of April 1st, 2015? So I'm going to highlight here, and I'm going to put those in. Please click on part 2 to finish this video.